Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and fun little video today. Wizards just banned 7 cards, and they didn't just ban them, they actually removed the artwork and basically the whole card from their database, or at least they tried. They accidentally left most of these there. Oops. I guess they're working on it? Or they just rushed this out as a knee-jerk reaction and half-assed it? I mean, they've never been known to rush a decision like this, especially when it involves some SJW bullshit. And I keep seeing people reply online to, they didn't really ban them. It says, additionally, these cards will be banned in all sanctioned tournament play. I don't know what that sentence means to you, but to me, that means they're banned. Now, is FNM, it's sanctioned? Yes. It's play? Yes. Is it tournament play? I don't know. I think so. Does it refer to the structure? Does it refer to the competition level, the REL level? Who knows? I think they just don't want them on camera, but then that probably means since anybody could be streaming, they're banned from MTGO. Who knows? So total lack of clarity there. What else is new to Wizards? So one of these I'll give them. The rest I think they have lost their damn minds. But let's just read the intro here, because the one that I think probably should have been banned a while ago, because, well, let's just say I made a video on it a couple years ago. They say, today we will be changing the Multiverse ID and removing the Gatherer card image for the card Invoke Prejudice, originally printed in 1994. The card is racist and made even worse by the Multiverse ID. It was unfortunately codified with years ago. There's no place for racism in our game nor anywhere else. And shortly after that sentence is where me and Wizards of the Coast stop agreeing. So the Multiverse ID is like, you can type it in and it'll be like, oh, that's that card exactly. It's like how they fetch it from the database. It's like its index number or whatever. Basically, nobody ever uses it. But it was, I guess, some offensive number, some like supremacist number thing. I thought it was an anti-Semitic thing, whatever, who knows. And I had somebody tell me once, it's really hard to verify. This would take a lot of work, so I'm obviously not going to do it. But the 1994 set didn't have numbered cards in a row, so I'd have to look up what like card number they really were, because it's not printed on the card. But somebody told me that if you look at the card before it and after it, they have like vastly different numbers. So this one was assigned that offensive number on purpose, allegedly. Like, haha, somebody thought it was a joke, or I don't know, somehow the artist had some say in it, which I doubt it. So a little bit of fogginess around that, but let's just say it wasn't necessarily an accident. But the art was done by Harold McNeil, and if you look at his website, wow. I'm not going to bother to go back and look at it a second time because I already made the damn video and I don't want to see all that stuff again. But yeah, clearly racist as hell. He'll say otherwise. He'll say, I just find the topic and the style interesting. No, not in my opinion, Harold. I think he even had like some like offensive like cult imagery or something about worshiping some guy named Stan. I might have copied that down wrong. He had all kinds of messed up crap on that website. So, I mean, yeah, pretty much confirmed racist at this point. All he does is draw, like, KKK shit and just, yeah. These are clearly, it's not, ooh, spooky wizards in hoods with flame heads. No, it's KKK members. Now, without context, would you know that? Because, I mean, they say, but to that point, it never should have been published nor placed in the Gatherer. Well, the internet almost didn't even exist in 94. If they did, I doubt he had a website, so I don't think they requested a portfolio of his other work, and even if they did, he could have just misrepresented it and, you know, sent them some spooky generic imagery. So the whole, oh, it was our fault from the get-go, not really. I mean, unless you just saw this in point blank, hey, that might be misconstrued, get rid of it, redo it, or we're going with someone else. I mean, okay. So then they go straight off the deep end and say the events of the past weeks and the ongoing conversation about how we can do better, or how we can better support people of color have caused us to examine ourselves, our actions, and our inactions. By the way, that's the only reference they make. I'll come back to that. We appreciate everyone helping us recognize when we fall short. First of all, no, they don't. People have been complaining about that card for like 20 years. And secondly, and possibly worse yet, they didn't do a damn thing about it until, oh, everybody's talking about race this week, so I guess we'll do something about it this week. You know, ignore the other 2 decades. I mean, this wasn't just, oh, that art looks kind of offensive, maybe if you squint. It was like, no, it's drawn by an actual racist. They should have recalled them or swapped it or reprinted it or done a program or something a long time ago, but they didn't give a shit until now, which they're like openly admitting. Unreal. Also, interesting that they just say people of color. They have openly, blatantly made this mistake to reveal that they have certain selective things that they care about and certain things that they don't. Skin color is one, gender is another, and orientation is another. And then they stop there. Let me read off the list of protected, equally, mind you, equally protected federal level U.S. law protected classes. See if you might notice a couple they missed. Race, color, national origin or ancestry, because remember, those are different things, religion or creed, gender, age, physical or mental disability, veteran status, genetic information, that's a new one, and citizenship. Or citizenship status, I should say. So they really focus on 4 of those, and they really really violate the rest. I could give all these examples. It's not like I have a whole freaking folder of screenshots and stuff, but like statements made by their staff, you know, on or off company time on social media about the military veterans, you know, I think they've even done like, oh, look at this 90-year-old playing the game of this tournament. Isn't that a unique thing? Technically, you really shouldn't even be saying that. And then, oh, look, an 11-year-old girl is doing well at the tournament. How novel and amazing. I mean, what? Replace that with, like, black. Look at this black person doing amazing at our tournament. These are equally protected, guys. Age, color, race, it's all the same. But not in their eyes. Oh, no, Wizards only cares about half that list. And, you know, good on them for helping out some, like, blind people at a tournament one time and whatever. That was cool. But, like, wow, some of these they're blatant about. Plus, their idea of race and stuff is very skin deep. All they want to do is, like, look out over the crowd at a tournament and not see whiteness. Like, because, you know, a person from the Netherlands and a person from Australia are both exactly the same. They literally don't even speak the same language, have completely different cultures, beliefs, upbringings. They're from opposite sides of the world, but no, white is white. In fact, I just went on Facebook just as a joke, and one of my friends who's Asian, I know for a fact his grandparents came here like 7 years ago from China. Like, this dude grew up with me, speaks perfect English. He's about as Wisconsin American as you can get. His skin color, just as far as like if you're just talking to him on the phone, you wouldn't even know. You know, just Packer fan, whatever, the most American Chinese person you ever seen in your life. So I told him, I said, Wizards wants more Asian colored people. They don't really seem to care who. So if you went to a tournament and they were like silently in their head going, check the box for what +1 Asian, yay. And they said that about you. And then they said that about literally a Chinese player from China. Would you equate the two? Are you exactly equal and exactly the same? And he said, and I quote, no, what the They just want to tick a box. They just want less whiteness. It's all about skin deep, literal color, not national origin, which is the fourth one on the list. I just wanted to give like an example of how they constantly violate this stuff. It's unreal. My friend went to 2-star City Games tournaments and estimated that 1/3 to 1/2 of the judges are trans. What's their representation of the population? 1 in 3,000? That would heavily imply either the biggest coincidence ever or a very legal selective hiring process. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Everywhere in the Magic community, there is nonstop discrimination against basically everything on this list except for the 4 that they pretend to give a shit about. So just wanted to point out that little hypocrisy before I absolutely blow them up in the next video. Or sometime in the next 2 days, I'm making a video about someone they refused to hire and some of the things they said and did, and oh my gosh. Oh, these I'm doing it for show and to pat myself on the back SJW diversity activists are about to get blown the f up. Destroy that subscribe button. You do not want to miss this video. So let's just breeze through the other 6 that they banned / deleted or whatever. I mean, first of all, this is what they put up. If you try to look it up, honestly, they left about 1/3 of them up as alternates, so whoops, but you might see this. We have removed this card image from our database due to its racist depiction, text, or combination thereof. So any text, the name, the imagery, the depiction, and anything, pretty much anything on the card visually. Just remember that that's what they're claiming is the reason, because some of these, they're not going to make a lot of sense. So racism in any form is unacceptable and has no place in our games nor anywhere. Yeah, obviously. Oh, what a brave, stunning statement. I'm sure they'll get so much backlash for that. Aren't they stunning and brave? That's the thing about like racism in 2020. You say some off-color like comment to a black person like in a store, you are going to have everybody 3 aisles over up your ass. You are literally going to get forced out of the store by a mob. Okay, that's how much racism and acceptance of racism we have in 2020, okay? Yeah, things are a little different than 1950, just a little bit. Anyway, let's play everybody's favorite game show, Find the Racism. So the next one up, I'm not 100% sure about this because the one that they removed from the database is a digital only like Masters reprint set that was only on MTGO. I don't have MTGO installed, and even if I did, they allegedly already deleted it. And, you know, you can't just find it on Card Kingdom, but I don't know. I mean, as far as I know, they didn't change any of the art for any of the Masters cards. So this is what they banned. I don't get it. Those are vaguely even humanoid in the art. If anything, they're goblins? I don't know. It just looks like a tornado hitting a fantasy environment and a bunch of goblins and devils getting blown up. And I mean, the flavor text is, the clouds broke and the sun's rays burst forth. Each foul beast in its turn faltered and was gone. I don't see anything wrong with that. And then all black creatures in play are destroyed. Well, I don't know if they knew this, but they're referring to the mana color, not the skin color. Most black mana-oriented creatures are not literally black. and most of them are creatures. If they thought that something that's just generally called cleanse, it's generally a white spell, and it generally refers to black creatures in play, a basic fundamental part of the game, if they were like, no, that's too far, what the hell? So this one has me completely stumped. Maybe if I saw the full version of the art, I'd see something. I don't know. I mean, like that dude wearing the robe, if that's even a dude, I don't know. I could not find the full res artwork anywhere. Even if, let's say, that isn't like super clear as day, like depiction of a random person with darker skin in the purple robe, like, oh, there's a black person in the art, we better get rid of it. That's almost offensive by itself. I mean, if the flavor text says foul beast and there's a humanoid human dark-skinned male in the robe, but that robe just screams evil warlock sorcerer, you know, like, so I really think this was a really big stretch. Next up, we've got Crusade, which that's Elspeth. That's a bunch of dudes, and I think the guy in the bottom left might actually be black. I don't know, the fact that Elspeth is on it, they can't be like, nope, that's this battle and these European whatever from the whatever century. No, it's Elspeth, and it's her army. It's in the lore. It's made up. It's fantasy. I mean, it's just called Crusade. I mean, that's pretty generic, could mean anything. And then white creatures get +1/+1. Okay, are they like never gonna let that be a thing again? Because that would be taking this way too far. It's a mana color, not a skin color. And then the flavor text is finally, I understand, home isn't where you rest, it's what you fight for. Nothing wrong with that. But there's multiple versions of this, so let's keep going. We have the Crusade that I suspect that they did get rid of it for. All white creatures gain +1/+1, no flavor text. It's made by Mark Poole, so nothing wrong there. And that's literally just Spanish soldiers. Like, come on. They're burning something in the background and celebrating. That is literally the Crusade. That has nothing to do with Magic the Gathering. That is actual history. I could see why they would do it. I'd like to think, since they're a bunch of angry, anti-Christian, discriminatory pieces of atheist trash who work there, that they just got rid of it because of the cross on it. But yeah, I mean, the colors, the symbols, the armor, everything, that looks pretty period accurate to literally just the actual Crusades. I just checked. It's the same helmet. It's the same shield. Why exactly are they putting, like, this world Earth events on Magic cards? I don't quite get that. Then again, another question, like 600 years later, who's all butthurt about the Crusades? Like, it didn't affect anybody that you know of in your family. Like, come on. And if it did, you wouldn't know about it. Like, at a certain point, how much further back are you gonna go, you know? So another one, I mean, we got Crusade. I mean, I don't really know what's going on in this one. It's kind of creepy imagery. The banners are blank, so I don't really know. And I think that was the only other art. So you might think I figured it out, except, wait a minute, they got rid of every version of the card and every version of the art with or without flavor text on the entire Gatherer. So there goes that explanation out the window. Let's move on to the next one. So the next one is Stone Throwing Devils, and I am completely at a loss. Is that supposed to be some kind of racist depiction of some race? It says devils, they look like devils. That's as far as I'm taking it. If this is some like common old school 1920s caricature that I'm just not aware of, let me know. But my theory is a couple of these artworks were drawn by Ken Meyer, and they're the ones that don't make any sense, so maybe it's him that's the problem. But now let's go back to what they said. It has racist depiction, text, or combination thereof. Not solely the artist's history and has nothing to do with the art itself. So I don't know, are they throwing shade at Ken Meyer, or do they find something wrong with this that I don't? I mean, the flavor text is sometimes those with the most sin cast the first stones. Oh boy, Bible reference, as if they really care about offending Christians. I mean, even in like the full original version of the artwork, I'm not seeing it. If I had to like really stretch it, I'd say that that's some kind of Middle Eastern backdrop. It looks like maybe that style of architecture, and then it's implied that those are the people living in it, and they're throwing rocks outside the walls at someone trying to invade. So they're saying Middle Easterners look like this, I guess, even though it says devils on the card, which I guess in that context would make it worse. But I don't know, this is a big stretch in my opinion. Wait till I get to the section of cards that in my opinion they forgot, because it's going to get really funny really quick. Next up, Pradesh Gypsies. I believe there's 4 printings of this card, and all 4 of them are the exact same artwork. Yes, gypsies, which is still a polite, proper term to refer to that group, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm sure some purple-haired idiot was like, no, it's Eastern European, this and that, nomadic. Shut up, they call themselves gypsies, for God's sake. And you know what? At some period in time, and even up to modern day, a lot of them dress like that. It's actually authentic. Like, if you're gonna be like, no, that's a caricature. Well, no, that they usually have hairstyles like that. They do wear head wraps. They do have mustaches. They do wear hats, and they do smoke pipes. Like that's real. Oh, well, not everyone in the group, and oh, that was how they looked, 80 years ago. Like, who cares? I mean, that's like saying the entire Kamigawa sets have to go because that's period accurate Japanese, armor and clothes. Just because you're showing something historically factual doesn't mean you're like parodying it or making fun of it. I do not understand this at all. I even just like straight up typed into Google, is the term gypsy PC or is it offensive? And I found pretty much everybody just fence sitting and saying maybe. One of them made a pretty good point. I don't think I can say this word, but let's say being ripped off or scammed, there's a certain term that sounds like gypsy that's based on the word gypsy that's very, very offensive. But I think Wizards was just like, can we say the word gypsy? No, probably not. Delete it. This is such a rushed knee-jerk nonsense. It's comical. In fact, here, let me prove it to you. If you go to the Gatherer right now and pull up the 4th edition version, it says, we have removed this, blah, 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 whatever. You pull up the 5th edition, it says it. Pull up the 6th edition, which is the exact same artwork. It's there. And then you pull up the, what is that? The Legends version, they blocked it. All 4 are the exact same artwork. The 6th edition flavor text is, a mysterious people indeed, their origins are as secret as their traditions. I mean, okay, nothing really wrong with that. In fact, in looking this up online, I found something more offensive. They said one of the definitions is one inclined to a nomadic, unconventional way of life. It's not unconventional for them. In fact, a lot of like people who owned a lot of sheep and stuff moved around. I mean, that statement is legitimately ignorant. So you might be thinking, well, maybe they let this one through because the other 3 had something super offensive on their flavor text. No. The 4th edition has none, the Legends one has none, and the 5th edition is exactly the same. So no, the other versions don't say, get these smelly pickpocketing gypsies out of our city, which, in my opinion, would have merited a ban if they said that. I feel like maybe that also wouldn't have gotten approved in the first place. So next up, we got the card Jihad. That's probably as far as the investigation needs to go, but I'll show the card. Oh look, an army wearing Middle Eastern armor on Middle Eastern horses, spearing people in the face. Well, we can't put jihad on our card because that's just a fake made-up thing that, Middle Eastern people and Muslims are blah, blah. No, that's a thing they actually did. No, that shit happened. I mean, if they're going to go by the same, the whole Spanish Crusade thing, they don't care if it happened, they want it off their card, so like, okay. But yeah, they're pretty big Muslim apologists over at Wizards of the Coast, considering they throw gay people off of buildings. So I mean, nothing really wrong with the art other than they're once again depicting like Earth timeline history things on a fantasy magic set. I guess they didn't think to not do that around 93, 4, and 5 or whatever. I actually thought maybe one of the creators said that they did intend Earth to be like one of the planes and then they decided against that later. So now they're kind of like, they're revising that now. So like, I kind of get this one. Just like I kind of get the Spanish Crusade one. But I mean, whatever. I mean, I just don't want to play a card called Jihad. I find the term offensive. I find the idea offensive. I just get the sneaking suspicion they didn't ban it on my account. Now, the next one is in prison. What the f***? I mean, I really looked at this one, and I get darker than that playing Pokemon Go. Okay, I don't even know what's going on here. Unless that's how they transported slaves in the 1700s and I just don't know about it, I just assume that's like some Man in the Iron Mask shit. I mean, why is he also being electrocuted? I don't know. I don't think they did that to slaves because electricity wasn't invented yet. I do not know what's going on with this, but it's Christopher Rush who was the artist, and I think he was the artist on another one. So once again, maybe that's like, it's a Christopher Rush thing. I don't know. Hate to throw him under the bus, but I don't know. I have no idea. There's no flavor text. There was never any of these printed. It was only printed in... There's only one version. It doesn't have flavor text. And by the way, $25 card, no longer legal for tournament play. Whoopsies. I mean, they could be pro-consumer and say, hey, we can't let you play with this version of it. Because, I mean, the Oracle text and the name, there's nothing inherently bad about that. I guess they're saying something about the art, so do a trade-in program. It's a $25 card. It's actually like a pretty decent card, too, in like a fast deck. So yeah, sucks if you own these. They just wiped out a bunch of money out of nowhere because racism. At least compensate the players, otherwise they're going to turn on you and then it's going to make it look and feel and have the optics of they're turning on you because you got rid of racist imagery. That's a bad look for both sides. If you look at this card and you say, wow, Wizards hates dark colored people, like, you're an idiot. And yeah, that was the last one. So yeah, I definitely get one of them. I kind of get two of them, and the other four there is absolutely no reason for. It's almost racist that they see it as racist. Like, they're taking it so far that they're almost making a statement about how they think about people of other cultures and stuff. Also, that message that they put where they're like, we have removed this card image from our database due to its racist depiction, text, or combination thereof. Racism in any form is unacceptable and has no place in our games nor anywhere. You know you made the card, right? You approved it. You printed it as your card. They're almost phrasing it like it was like a fan submission. Like, oh, we just caught this and this is unacceptable. Well, you did it. You're the ones who did it. You made the card. I get it. A lot of these are a while ago, but like, they're really kind of like, if you read between the lines, phrasing it like they weren't responsible for it. They're like, this is unacceptable. We're cracking down hard. On who? Yourself? Like, they forgot to mention like an apology or like taking blame anywhere. I really think they phrased that to be vague on purpose. I really, really, really do. So now the time comes for the audience participation section. Let's point out all the blatantly racist cards, or like could be up for interpretation cards, or let's just say they would overreact and want to ban it cards that they totally forgot. You know, I hate to win this contest right off the bat before the comment section even takes a crack at it, but Army of Allah, and that is period accurate Muslim army armaments, I guess you would say. They look kind of beady-eyed and they all have kind of cartoonish mustaches. That, I mean, wow. And guys, which one had Allah on it? Which plane was that? It was a desert one. It was Aman Ket, right? No, that was Heliod. Wait a minute, let me think. Oh, that's right. It's not from any plane or from Magic Lore at all. In fact, I'm no Muslim expert, but like, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to just throw the name Allah on a card because you think it would be fun for a fantasy card game. I mean, it's right up there with if they put like Army of Jesus on it. It's like, well, I don't think it's Jesus, and I don't think he's a planeswalker, you know what I mean? But by their like super reaching standards, oh no, this makes Muslims look violent. We can't have that, even though they factually attacked basically everyone for like 800 years straight, literally in the name of religion to convert them. And groups are still doing that today, but no, that's impolite. We can't mention that. And we certainly can't put it on a card. I mean, if they could have put the Spanish Inquisition or the Crusades on the card or whatever the hell, which I think I'm getting my Spanish and English mixed up, whoops. Well, if we can't put actual factual things that happened but were offensive in human history, then we sure as hell can't have this on a card. Are you kidding me? In fact, the flavor text is, on the day of victory, no one is tired, Arab proverb, which you might think is already inaccurate two different ways, but I looked it up. Apparently that's how everybody online refers to it, is just Arab proverb, so okay. I guess it's not specifically from the Quran. At this point, I'm not even sure if it'd be more offensive if it was in the Quran or if it wasn't. So they're using an actual real-world historic Earth quote with the word Allah on it, with Muslims in battle attire. And they didn't think maybe this one should be on the list. I already know some Wizard staff members watch my videos, so somebody needs to send an email. Anyway, I found a couple more. They're pretty good, but I don't want to ruin it for everybody. So in the comment section, don't link to it because hyperlinks are all disabled, marked as spam right off the bat for safety reasons, but just the name of the card, leave it down below. And I guess like the overall reason, horribly Wizards level reaching or blatant in your face, or anywhere in between, that you think the card is racist and should be removed. And I'm so sure you guys won't just sarcastically post something that there's nothing wrong with and then just comically make something up. I'm so sure somebody won't pull up to Fairy and just be like, yep, this card because, what, did you just watch The Green Mile and now all black people are magic? Actually, that was, I think, a Key and Peele skit where they're like, all elderly black people in movies are automatically magic. They all have mystical powers because they're elderly and black. Is that what you're saying with Teferi? Teferi Time Wizard or whatever, that all black people are time wizards, are all magic? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you go for, Wizards? Because that's pretty racist. You better ban every instance of Teferi ever printed and every time his name ever occurred on a card. I mean, seriously, do it. Go, right now. I'm not kidding. Do that. I'll go make a petition. Do that. We're sick of his bullshit. I mean, it's racist. In fact, I would just cancel Corset 2021 just to be safe. I mean, there's some pretty bad racist descriptions on there. I mean, just saying. So anyway, what do you guys think about this bullshit? Not to be leading or anything. Not to bias the sway of the public opinion in any way, but what do you think of this absolute nonsense? Or do you think Wizards absolutely just solved racism worldwide? They just ended it. It's over. They did it. Let me know down in the comment section or find some racist cards, whatever you want. I'll see you guys next video.